Alex Weir has lived in Monrovia's popular slum of West Point since he was a boy. But suddenly in 2017, the 34-year-old and his family had no home. Weir points to the spot where his house once stood. He says his family were wakened one morning by the sickening sounds of their 6-bedroom house washing into the sea. Weir says he and his 4 children were lucky to survive.
The sea was coming closer, so we thinking that it was not serious, but in less than 2 to 3 months, the sea swept away with the entire house. So all the houses that were in front of us, we had about 200 to 300 houses, which of course were swept away.
Weir was forced to send his children to live with his mother. He now rents a room in the house owned by other people.
When I'm totally distressed, actually, it's something that causes anxiety. I'm very unhappy about the situation, but yeah, I just have to cope with it.
Weir is one of many homeowners here to have lost his house to the sea, according to West Point Township Commissioner William Weir.
We have more than 600 homes that have been eroded by sea erosion, and more than 6,000 family heads have been affected over time.
This is the sea-ravaged power plant New Road community in the slum of West Point. Residents here say prior to the sea encroachment, this place used to be lively. There used to be entertainment centers, football fields, residential buildings, and a mini pier for canoes. There also used to be a paved road all year, but all of that has been swallowed by the ocean. Many people have left. Those who have stayed say their lives are threatened. Like Alex, Mona Wille was a child when she and her parents settled here. The 55-year-old mother of 4 children and 6 grandchildren says she watched the community change from being a safe and happy place to one plagued by violence and problems. Her house sits not too far from the shoreline, with waves lapping a few meters from the house. Wille sells fish here. She says she likes the community despite its worsening condition.
We scared of sea, but what will be here? We scared, but what will be here? What the pay government will get for us to be? Now we here.
In 2017, the Serif administration relocated about 130 West Point sea erosion victims to Monrovia, about 30 minutes away from Monrovia. The people complained that the zinc homes built for them were poor quality. They also complained that they had no sustainable livelihood. Without fishing, they had no trade to depend on. People here are now wary of any relocation plan.
The thing what better will let it play for. Because I hear we can also when the fishermen are fishing, we can take the fish from there and sell it. And sell what you went to school. So West Point, a single parent. And the fish we can sell before we can actually to school. So when they can't develop one at all, me when my house not say because my want to do it, I will not get it again.
If you talk about relocation, it will bring a serious setback to the residents of West Point because people get a livelihood from here. There are other people who living by fishing, and other people. West Point is a easy asset to Central Monrovia. So an attempt taking people from here to carry them Broadville, it's like you taking their breath away.
Commissioner Weir has assured the community there are no plans for relocation. Instead, there are plans to build more industry here to provide jobs away from the sea.
I have learning from the past, have decided to protect West Point and improve the livelihood of the people while they are here. And they have done critical analysis of the happenings. The people of West Point will prefer being here and changing their lives as compared to going to another area.
The government has begun work on the $26 million Monrovia Metropolitan Climate Resilience Project. The government is co-funding the project along with the UNDP. Most of the funds will come from a global fund set up by rich countries to help poor countries adapt to climate change, called the Green Climate Fund. The Environmental Protection Agency leads the implementation of the project. Executive Director Wilson Tapper says the project will provide new skills and businesses for residents of West Point and Kru Town.
And the intent of that is to have these people removed from living on in a perilous sea that continues to come and encroach in the environment.
The money that will be given, is it going to be given in the form of loan or grant or what?
It's a grant. It's a grant, but it's going to be managed in a way where it can be sustainable.
Just like the coastal defense installed in Buchanan and New Kru Town, the West Point project should lay to rest talk of relocating West Point residents for at least 40 years. That's how long the walls should hold back the sea, according to the UNDP, which consulted leading international engineers on the plan. But former Mines Minister Dr. Eugene Shannon questions the decision to put off the relocation, which everyone agrees is likely to be. Dr. Shannon was part of the decision to relocate the community in 2017.
They have the temporal solution, which is dumping rocks on the coastal front. You got a temporary revetment, and it stops it for a while. But after a while, those stones are buried. 3, 4, 5 years, they are buried, and the situation continues.
Shannon thinks the township can be used for something different.
You can move them, put West Point into a touristic center where you have people coming in from Europe, the way you're doing Gambia.
Putting the relocation off, even if only for a couple of decades, will play well with voters, something that will be on the minds of politicians in the run-up to next year's elections. The sea walls were a popular solution here in New Kru Town, another weird stronghold. EPA Chief Tappe also offered the tantalizing prospect that some lost land could be reclaimed.
According to the technical information I have, efforts will also be made at reclamation. Reclamation, I mean, to see, depending on what we do there. But as effort, first, the minimum effort will be to protect what we have now, and efforts where possible will be made to reclaim.
There's urgency in West Point to commence the project.
So my final words to the national government, we expecting them as soon as possible to see how best they can release the people of West Point, because on a daily basis, people losing their home.
Nana, the rabbit and what they talk. That one way more happy, Nana. To stop the sea.
The Coastal Defense Project promises to be a short-term game changer for the people of West Point if the government gets it right. Similar projects are promised for Greenville in Sando County and Rubbersport in Grand Cape Mount County, according to Liberia and UNDP officials. This report was produced by Power TV in collaboration with New Narratives, with funding from the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office and the American Jewish World Service. I'm Anthony Stevens reporting.